The atmosphere which surrounds the earth on all sides. Earth is like a globe. Then we have got this atmosphere which has been there for millions of years. It usually contains amount of different gases: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and other minimal gases. And the layers of the atmosphere have been divided according to their height, measured from the Earth's surface to what is called the first one, troposphere, maybe goes up to 12 kilometers above. Then next is the stratosphere, then there is the mesosphere, and so on. Today it is the day for preservation of the ozone layer. So this ozone is also part of the atmosphere. Where does it lie? Where does it consist? Where does it reside? Where it is found? It is found in the stratosphere, that is the second layer, also partly in troposphere, which is the first layer. Now what is ozone? Ozone is a gas, O3. O2 is oxygen, O3 is ozone. It is possible to manufacture in special circumstances in the laboratory, but understandingly, naturally, to understand, it is there in our atmosphere, and it is a very valuable substance, vital substance, I would say. This ozone, it covers the earth on all sides. Of course, it varies with the season, varies with the latitude. Ozone is less sometimes in the equator, but nevertheless, it protects the ultraviolet rays which are part of sunlight. Do you understand what are ultraviolet rays? Light is composed of several sections according to the emission of the rays. We calculate, for example, 100, less than 100, more than 100, up to something like 400 emissions are ultraviolet, and they are also classified again into ultraviolet A, ultraviolet B, and ultraviolet C. Alright. And there are preparations available to apply on the skin if you are likely to be exposed to ultraviolet rays, which is more in the northern side or the southern side of our earth. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, countries like Europe, there is more of this exposure because the ozone layer might be less there. So people apply creams and applications, lotions to protect oneself from this ultraviolet radiation. Why should you protect? Because this is dangerous to our health, to skin especially. It can cause sunburn, the minimal form. It can also cause skin cancer. It can also cause cancers of the other parts of the body. It can harm our immunity. So this ultraviolet radiation is protected by nitrogen if the scale is low. Then after that, if the scale is high, it is protected by the ozone. So this ozone depletion, which we have been doing. Alright, so let's go to that now. How do we protect it? And there is a Montreal protocol, which is 1988, I think, the protocol they created. Hydrofluorocarbons. These are the gases which we have been using for various purposes in our household life, for example, the aerosols, containers, also the fridges, alright, and also of course the air, flying equipments contain, they have to have that. And also of course for medical purposes, don't forget that the inhalers, especially for asthma, there are various forms of inhalers which are time limited. So we all use this fluorocarbon, and they are generally called hydrochlorofluorocarbons. They are a group of these gases, and once they are released, they go up to the troposphere. They will remain there. They will not be, they will not be diminished, neither will they be destroyed, because they are very strong. They will remain even if there may be some precipitation which might reduce, but they will remain even if it is very hot, even if it is rainy, even if it is sleet or rain. And they will slowly rise to the stratosphere where the ozone lives, let us say. Where the ozone remains, ozone will be there. Even if it is a dynamic process, ozone will change, or the amount of ozone will change according to the flow of the air and snow and storm, but ozone has to be there in all circumstances. Otherwise, this ecosphere or ecosystem is going to be destroyed. So this is another example where the environmental entity or the protection of the environment becomes paramount. There are several other factors. We say there is global warming, and one of the reasons of global warming is also considered to be the depletion of our ozone layer in the stratosphere. Of course, there is the soil conservation, there is forest conservation. There are several things, several things which has to maintain, and there is emission of other things other than these hydrofluorocarbons. But today being the ozone day against ozone depletion, I try to put something here. I hope you like it. And these fluorocarbons are now reduced because of that, the initiative of the UNO, that Montreal Protocol. We have been able to successfully reduce these hydrofluorocarbons, bromine, chlorine, iodine, alright, to some extent. But this task, I think, varies from country to country. I do not know about country like Nepal. I didn't find any data about this in none of our websites. Countries like maybe Bangladesh, even India. How much are we able to successfully control the emission of hydrofluorocarbons? Okay, and let us try to minimize the use of these substances, gases, hydrofluorocarbons mainly, which will destroy the ozone layer, so that the earth remains, the ecosystem remains intact. Thank you.